Hi there, I'm Yuri, and welcome to the first episode of Supervisely Livestreams. So, this livestreams will be a weekly activity, and let me give you some agenda for today's stream. And today I will introduce app and ecosystem. And apps are extremely powerful way to add value to Supervisely. And to demonstrate that, I will showcase several apps. Next, I will introduce Supervisely Ideas Exchange. And Ideas Exchange is extremely important for us, and we hope that community will help us and suggest different app ideas. So the common scenario is when, say, someone use Supervisely and understands that there is missing features, and there is a great chance that these missing features will be covered by apps in near future. Question answering session will go next, and also I will talk about live stream format and schedule at the end of this episode. So let's start with apps and ecosystem. You see here a new section available called ecosystem, and there are quite a bunch of stuff here, but let me focus on applications. So again, applications is a way to extend basic functionality of Supervisely. And let me just go through them and explain what each of them allows to do. So, say the first one is convert class shape, and this is a convenient way to do some say bitmap to polygon conversions and other conversions of metadata. The next one is related to merge classes. You can do this operation via, say, detail, but it might be convenient to have an app that does exactly that. Object size stats. So that's an example of statistical reports. I will explain more about this kind of applications today and showcase one of them. But this is just some example of applications that extend basic statistics and give you some insights regarding the dimensions and sizes of the objects. There are several applications here related to labeling jobs, stats. Also, we have apps that assign text to images in a very specific setting. So suppose that we want to automate training validation test splits, and this app is allowed to do that. This app allows to do that. Again, unpack any shape is also related to previously discussed topics of data types conversion. Rasterize objects on images. This one I will discuss in detail. So class stats for images. That is an interesting one to showcase. There are applications to help to create, say, training data, and this is the one that helps to create training data for Smart Tool. There are also import automation applications and applications that try to identify the most efficient labelers. Okay, this is an ecosystem, and whenever I want to add an app, it's just a matter of going here and click add. In my case, this app is added already. So let me show you the first app that is related to statistics. So we have here a Pascal work imported, and if I open it and go to classes first, I will see here all the Pascal work classes. Each class has a bitmap shape. And there is a basic statistic, and basic statistics is not bad. So we have here like three data sets: train, train well, and well. And we see the number of images in each data set. This is a statistic that relates images to classes, and we have these statistics for well, train, and train well data sets. This is statistics that is about objects. So we can see that in train data set there is a certain number of persons labeled, and if we sum up over all the data set, we will see this amount of persons in total. But what if this statistics is not enough? What if it's not, say, interactive enough? So it allows us to see something regarding the data, but maybe we want a bit more data exploration, and we want to add this capacity inside Supervisely. So again, if I go to project and click on context menu, go to report. In the report section, I have classes stats for images available. And let's try to run that. So the first thing it asks is about sample size. So if I want to have all the statistics in this project, the number should be 100, but I just want to take a sample just to speed up the calculation. So I will run that, and it will take a second or two for an app to initialize itself and start processing the data. And I don't have to wait until the processing is over. I can open it straight away, and once it's opened, I will explain what this application does. So there are a number of widgets here, and right now some of the widgets are populated with data on fly. And for some of the widgets, we have to wait until the processing is completed. So let's just wait a couple of seconds to make sure that all the data is processed, and then we will see a bigger picture of our sample. So yeah, right now the calculation is over, and this report is available by this link in Files section. And it looks like this. So this is the first table that relates images to different stats regarding them. And this is statistics regarding classes, and this is some charts again about different aspects of our training data, different kind of charts. But let's start with this table. So suppose that we want very simple, we want to gain some insights regarding our training data. And what I can do in the very in a very simple scenario is just to filter by column and click the first image. So whenever I sort by the column, in this case the images that has minimum size will be on top, minimum height in this case. So and we see that yeah, it's relatively low, small height for this image, and this kind of images might be outliers. They not necessarily are, but in theory they could be. And the same we can do if we sort by width. The more interesting scenarios is the following. So we have images labeled with masks here, and I can sort by unlabeled column. And if I sort it this way, these are the images that are mostly unlabeled. So it means that the area of pixels unlabeled is like 99%. And again, let me just open that to showcase. And this kind of images might be candidates for further inspection because, yeah, you see that this car is tiny. And this kind of images might be subject for further inspection. Maybe they are outliers. But also, we can be more specific. We can take a look at specific classes. Okay, suppose we are interested in cats. So what we can do, we can filter by the number of objects. And what we immediately see is that in our sample, this image contains the most cats, and the most cats is 3. So let's open it to make sure that that's the case. Yeah, there is 3 cats in this image and 3 objects for each cat created. Okay, so maybe we can try it with some other class, say a sheep. Yeah, so it's a large number of sheep in some images. Let's take a look at them. Again, that might indicate us on some outliers. Yeah, so that's a number of sheep here. And again, these images might be good candidates for further inspection due to the unusual number of objects. And the last thing, what I can do is say, let me find a cat here, if I can. I think I can do it this way, so I can filter by the cat. Oh no, this is not this one. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, I can customize these columns if I want, and I think this is how it might be done. So I will show images here, and I will show cat here. So probably it's a good idea to sort them by the names. Yeah, let's see. And what I can do, I can, again, that was operation that we have done already. So 3 cats maximum, but also if I filter this way by the area of pixels labeled, I will see the image that contains that has 71% of pixels occupied by cats, and there are 2 cats in this image. So let's open that. Yeah, so zoomed in cats here. Okay, there are other tables like this, and charts, and pie charts. And one thing to notice here is that this report is quite interactive, and the first idea in mind is that probably it takes a lot to do all of that, so in terms of lines of code. But what is really good about apps is that they're not it's not very difficult to create them, and you don't have to write quite a lot of code to do that. So if we consider this specific app and go to GitHub repo, I will explain how much effort it takes to create this one. So, but before I go into code, let me open configuration file that essentially states, the categories in which this specific app will be shown up in the ecosystem page. And also, this is interesting one because, say, there is a context menu associated with the project. Let me show it. There is a context menu and there is a report item here, and this JSON block says that this app will be available in report section, and if report section does not exist, it will be created, and that this app will be associated with image project and images datasets, because we have other data types like videos, 3D point cloud. So depending on the type of project we need to differentiate. So let's go back and open source files. And for this specific app, there is 3 files. The first one has like 12 lines of code, and this is just about the sample percentage, and I put 10 here earlier. Let's go to the next one. The next one is this, and this file, this HTML file essentially defines all the widgets, all the visual layout, all the components, and it's 74 lines of code. So, and the reason why it doesn't take a lot of HTML to for this complex report is that we have built-in widgets like supervisely table and so on. And the last file is Python file, and our main purpose was to try to put as much logic on Python so that Python developers can easily create applications. And this is a bit larger file. It contains 347 lines, but it's mostly about data preparation and populating widgets with data. Yeah. So I think that's it for this app, and let me quickly go to the next one. It will be challenging to show you all the apps that we have within a first episode, but I want to give you some idea regarding the diversity of the apps. So the second one that I would like to show is convert class shape. You can do this kind of operations in Supervisely via detail. So say if you want to convert class shapes, you can go and run detail, and maybe you will use some existing detail scripts as a template, but it will require to change this JSON file, so it's not always convenient. And maybe we need something. Maybe we need a better approach, just graphic user interface. And again, if I go to run app section and transform and say convert class shapes, it will give me a brief overview, and then I run, and after several seconds the app is started. And again, if I open that, I will see the following. So I will see that this Lemons annotated project has 2 classes, Kiwi and Lemon, and these classes has shapes, bitmap shapes, and maybe I want say to map Kiwi to polygon, because in a lot of cases when you do data labeling, especially human in the loop stuff, sometimes polygons are preferable, at least for some people prefer to use polygons instead of masks. And say and lemons will be converted to rectangles. So I run that, and as a result there is a new project created with this shape conversion performed. I can click on this project right here, or I can go to projects to see a new project here, and if I open that, the shape of classes now polygon and rectangle. And again, let's just make sure that everything worked out. I will open that and let's check. So now, lemons lemons are labeled with rectangles, and kiwi labeled with polygons, and initially they were labeled with masks. So that's. Let me show the last one for today. That is actually in the same category of data transformation. and data management. This one will just merge classes, because sometimes we say we might have a data set in which we want to merge vehicle, car and bus into, say, vehicle class. This app allows to do exactly that. And I already have this app added in my team, so I don't have to add. And this app is, and let me show you one more thing. So it's pretty useful to read manuals, because it explains exactly where this app, you will find this app after. So it explains where to find the app. I highly recommend for you to read it through. This app is available. So let's take first. Let's take a look at the data first. In this application, so initially we have lemons and kiwi labeled with masks here, and you see that it's a bitmap. Maybe I just want to have a single class instead of two of those. Again, let's do this little operation. Click go to Run App, transform, and convert class shapes. No, merge classes, sorry. Run that. Again, the app is started. I open that app. And what I see is the initial shapes. And what I can do is to say remain. So if I do this, then kiwi class remains unchanged, and lemon class goes to kiwi class. So the only class that we will have as a result will be kiwi class. So or we can do this kind of thing. Like if we run that, the only class left will be lemon. Let's run that and see if it will work. Yeah, new project created. I can click right here on this project. Let me do this and just check. So I have only one class, lemon, and if we open a data set to see the result, we should see that all the objects now only lemons. Okay, so I think that that's more or less it. There are more features in ecosystem, more interesting features here, but let me not to try to explain all of them within a single episode, because I risk to I take a risk if I do that. This episode will take a couple of hours. Okay, let's go back to the agenda, and we have covered these two. Next, number 3 is Supervisely Ideas Exchange introduction. And this is also an interesting one, because applications, we think that applications is the future of Supervisely. And we have quite a number of ideas regarding the apps. But what we would like to ask you guys is to help us to contribute ideas for applications. And the motivation here is pretty simple. So if you see that some feature is missing, let's just create an app for that. There is a good chance that missing feature might be they might be created an app to emulate, to implement this missing feature. Okay, so if you go to ideas.supervisely, you'll go to this site. So there are a number of categories here, and let me just go through them. labeling interface. So in this category, there will be ideas that are related to labeling interfaces. That might be a difficult stuff to imagine straight away, but I will try my best to explain it. So I will just give you one slide example of the app that is integrated into labeling interface. Let me make it full screen. So this is an example of retail use case. And in retail use case, it's pretty easy to put a box around an item, but it's extremely hard to find and to associate a tag, a UPC code, with this specific item, because you might have like tens of thousands of UPC codes. And for that you need, and there is no chance that a particular person who labels that will keep all these UPC codes in this person will remember all these UPC codes. So, and there is a need for visual assistance here. So, whenever we want, so suppose that we need to adjust a tag, assign a tag for this particular product. So first we select that, then we do a visual navigation over the catalog of products in which we can search. It's a standalone task to make this navigation efficient. But once we have some visual, suppose that these are similar, then we just press tag, and the next box is selected, and with this previous box, the tag of this UPC code of this product is associated. So we go to the next box and do the same. Again, if you try to do it without reference images, it will be a nightmare, just infeasible. And this is an example of an app that might be directly integrated into labeling interface. And these categories of apps ideas is all about that. So again, it might be quite hard for me to go through each of them, but let me just try. Say, suppose that I will try to explain several of them, not all of them. Suppose that we want to do some kind of validation. So whenever we put a rectangle here or polygon, maybe we want to guarantee that there is some requirements. Maybe we have some requirements. For example, our built-in requirements is that polygons cannot have 2 or less points. Maybe you will have some specific requirements, and you might be able to enforce these requirements via the app. App to navigate within high resolution image. That's interesting one, because high resolution images might be tricky to navigate, and maybe there should be an app for that. Another example is some interactive app to test semantic segmentation model stability. So it would be nice if, say, we have a model, some model integrated, and then we could just say select an area with some instrument here. Select an area and apply semantic segmentation model to process that. So I will just to demonstrate. So maybe I want to test the stability of my semantic segmentation model. I think it might be cool to just select an area some way and to get immediate predictions in this area. Again, it's kind of a way to test the model. Let's go back to ideas. Okay, so it will take a lot of time if I will go through each of them. Let's switch to another one. So, video labeling. As you hopefully know, we have not only labeling for images but for videos as well. And if we I'm just trying to think how to better find a project with video. So let me quickly do that. So if you upload video in Supervisely, there will be a specialized labeling interface to deal with videos. And the main idea behind video labeling interface is that to guarantee consistency of spatial labeling, so that say a car on one frame is the same car on the next frame. So we have to keep track of the car identifiers. And here we have some panels, but again, there might be an app which will represent additional panel and allows to extend basic functionality. Maybe it is some kind of special interpolation, or say, let's see what we have in terms of ideas. Yeah, maybe it's some color-based, some labeling based on color histograms, or maybe the app should deal with object identifiers across different videos. And for 3D labeling, there are some other ideas. And the last one, custom labeling interfaces. So that might be also an interesting point, because you can think of very simple scenarios in which we have, say, two images and a user is asked a predefined question about these two images. And the example might be, say, to determine whether two images belong to the same category or not. And this is completely custom labeling interface. It's pretty simple one. The more complicated one might be, again, going back to the retail case, is something like that, in which we have the task of assigning a tag here to associating a tag with this box, and we have like extended view of catalog and some, say, extended ways to navigate over that catalog to quickly identify the appropriate UPC code, the appropriate tag. So there is also quite a number of important sections left. And guys, I ask you to participate. So just put your ideas here, and you can also comment on our ideas, and it will help us to understand what applications are most anticipated. So when it comes to data management, there might be apps related to transformation, to data transformation, and I have shown several apps today already, like merge classes, convert class shapes. Data analytics is another huge way to extend value via apps. Again, let me just show other categories like data cleaning. That is not maybe most frequently used category of apps, but sometimes we just need to guarantee that our data is clean, that there is no duplicates and so on. Data querying, so a way to conveniently query, sample and filter the data is important. And import-export app, so I think that I predict that that might be two most popular, because there are a lot of formats, and Supervisely have to support them. Collaboration, so the ideas here are related to annotator performance, team performance, consensus labeling. Consensus labeling is pretty interesting. So I don't think that today there are a lot of tools that allow us to do consensus in any meaningful way. So I think that more or less every company approach it differently, and they have to build something in-house to address that. And what we hope to do is to have quite a bunch of applications that cover this scenario. Exams, content generation. So artificial data is very undervalued direction. So you can do quite a bunch of stuff with that. Again, we'll not focus much on that right now, but in the next episodes, I will definitely showcase some examples and explain some apps. that might help. Data anonymization for Europe, it's huge because persons should be anonymized, license plates on cars should be anonymized, and if we have to anonymize, the process of labeling might become not so trivial, because we have to be able to work with two copies of data. One is anonymized copy and other with full information. Presentation. So it will be cool to have an app that say that generates a video that visually compares predictions of detection models. So we have two detection models, and we have to understand which one is better. We can build all sorts of metrics, but I think it's really a nice thing to have some apps that will automatically generate a video, and you can see that you can immediately see when one model better and the other model is worse. Neural networks. So there is performance analysis app, all sorts of interactive confusion metrics and so on. Again, we expect this category will be much larger. Comparison of the models, training data preparation. The one app that we have implemented is app to prepare data for smart tool on labeled images. I will showcase this in the next episode. And models. So the point here is that different state-of-the-art models might be integrated in a form of apps. Another important point is that, suppose that you have an idea and maybe you feel that there is it's not well formulated, or there is no proper category for you to put this idea in. So just click on others and put your idea here in other section, and our supervisor team will sort this out later. It's important for us to aggregate as many diverse ideas as possible at this stage. So we just need to understand, to make sure that all the main scenarios are covered by our backend, so that we will soon be able to release a way for you to create apps on top of Supervisely. Okay, so let's go back here to the agenda, question answering session. And the procedure is the following. I will go to Livestreams, Livestream, and here I will just read every question and will try to address it. Since there is no questions today, I think this I will do it next time. But again, I highly encourage you to put questions here, so that during these live sessions we will address them. Some ideas are already implemented. You can click. Some ideas is work in progress. Okay, so I think that it was quite a lot of information for one session, and let me conclude with some reflections on live stream format and schedule. So the way we want to do it is to release is to do the live streams weekly. And the main agenda will be to showcase our progress in the form of new apps, maybe new app ideas. So every episode I will go to ideas.supervisely to see what new ideas were suggested during the week, and the most interesting we will comment on. And so optional new core features, some core features will be available soon, and if appropriate we will use this live stream sessions to introduce them. Again, question answering session, I really want to make it interactive, so highly encourage you guys to go and again to this live stream section and click here and just post your questions. And what else? And this one was already mentioned. So this is weekly podcasts, weekly live streams. So hopefully you will find it interesting, and we will have a standard practice for doing those. So thank you. So I think that's it for today, and thank you for watching. And please go to ideas.supervisely, and if you have anything that you think is missing in Supervisely, mention it, and suggest it in a form of app. I think I'm sure that it will make Supervisely way stronger. So again, thank you for watching, and bye bye.